Welcome to the Elevate Media Podcast with your host, Chris Anderson. In this show, Chris and his guests will share their knowledge and experience on how to go from zero to successful entrepreneur. They have built their businesses from scratch and are now ready to give back to those who are just starting. Let's get ready to learn, grow, and elevate our businesses. And now, your host, Chris Anderson.
All right, welcome back to another recording of the Elevate Media Podcast. I'm Chris Anderson, your host. And today we're going to dive into how we can stand out more in our marketplaces and how we can, serve our audience, serve our people better through the lead magnets, to the material we put out there. So I'm excited to talk with Marco Torres today about just that. Marco, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this chat.
Absolutely. So, if you're watching the video, you can see behind him, Marketing Boost, there in his background. What got you so interested in marketing to begin with, Marco?
Well, I've been an internet entrepreneur, internet marketer since 1996. So I've...
I won't tell you how old I am or how old I was then.
If you are watching the video, you can see I have no spring chicken. I've been very early adapter of internet marketing. I was an email. I was a spammer before they called it spam. So I was back in the early days of AOL, mass email marketer. Back then, just setting up a bunch of email servers at my garage, and so I've seen a bit of web developer and website builders. I've seen the entire, so to speak, evolution of internet marketing over the last 20 years, and been involved in marketing for companies that I worked for, companies that I own myself. Probably generated over $1 billion in sales from online marketing in my past 25 years of internet marketing. So when I had my own marketing, my own travel companies, which has been my focus since the early 90s, when I launched my own company in 2010, Marketing Boost came about as kind of an accident. We can tell that story later as well, but I can give you an idea on how this whole thing came about.
Yeah, I think it's because marketing is such a big thing. Like, there's multiple pieces to it, multiple facets. With that, when we're looking at our marketing, there could seem to be oversaturation. That you hear that sometimes in podcasting and in business, whatever market you're in. And I don't necessarily think this oversaturation. I think it's just, if you think it's oversaturated, it could be just poor marketing. And so how can we, kind of jumping right into it, how do we get ourselves to be able to stand out in a, maybe a crowded fishbowl?
Well, yeah, in my mind today, there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. I'll start with that. The technology that's available today, it's never been so easy to get access to help, with Fiverr and Upwork and what have you, to get people to quickly and efficiently build out your campaigns, your website, your sales funnels. There's technology to do all that easily compared to what we had to do in the early days. And so for starters, the technology is available to you if you know where to go find it, and you know where to go continue to get educated on how to set yourself up for success with the tools that are available out there and affordably available out there compared to what they were early on. Second, that once you've got a product or service you're planning on selling, of course, the other challenge in today, it might be one of the best times to be in business as an online entrepreneur. It's also more competitive than ever. So as you say, how do you stand out from the crowd? And in that scenario, you've got to make sure you are, do you have something that is of value? Are others going to see a value in your product or service? And can you set yourself up to be likable, trustable, and then, of course, how do you stand out from the crowd? And that's where, in my case, I recommend adding value to your offer versus discounting. One of the mistakes I think entrepreneurs make too often is, they're obviously you're rarely going to not have competitors. all of us typically have a ton of competitors that we're up against. So to set yourself up or set yourself apart, you end up, many of us make the mistake of discounting, thinking I'll be the cheapest one on the block, and that'll be my success versus, and then what you end up doing is it becomes a race to the bottom, and eventually somebody's going to see your pricing and think they'll be cheaper than you, and before you know it, you're racing to the bottom, giving up all your profits, and you better know your numbers, because even discounting 10% might mean you might need to actually double your sales to end up in the same place you were before you started discounting. So finding a way to add value versus discounting is the key. And that value can be adding incentives from, obviously I'll be biased here and say, look into Marketing Boost that's what we do is we provide valuable incentives you can add to your call to action. But even whether you use Marketing Boost or not, you need to find and develop incentives to add value to your promotion. Again, if you let me, I'd like to discuss, because most people, when you talk about this at this point, they're like, well, what the heck is he talking about with incentive-based marketing? And I'd like to refer to two that we'll all recognize that will give you an idea on how, and start getting your audience thinking about how to develop an incentive for their business.
For sure.
So the first one I'd like to mention that we're all going to recognize is Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos with Amazon developed probably one of the most successful businesses in the world, right? He's one of the richest guys in the world with the most successful online platform for sales. And over a decade ago, he launched Amazon Prime. When he did that, most of us were not streaming enthusiasts yet. The reason we bought Amazon Prime for $99 a year was not to get the streaming videos necessarily, but to get what? The incentive was 2-day free shipping.
Yep.
And once we bought that $99 package for free shipping, we became loyal clients to Amazon. Before we bought something from Macy's.com or anywhere else, what would we do? We'd go see if Amazon had it.
Yep.
If Amazon had it, we'd get the free shipping. You change the world of online marketing. Everybody now tries to offer free shipping if they can, because they're competing with Amazon. And so that was an incredibly popular incentive to generate a loyal community of shoppers on Amazon. The second one I'll mention is, for example, McDonald's with the Happy Meal. For decades now, McDonald's has had the incentive of the children's Happy Meal. So if you're a parent with kids, they've proven to the tune of about $3 billion a year in extra revenue for decades now. People choose McDonald's over other fast food outlets because they're going to entertain their kids with, they bundle a package of the burger, the soda, the snack, and of course the seasonal toy, which is drawing in families around the world to buy the Happy Meal. And then mom and dad might be able to get a word in edgewise while they're having lunch, while the kids entertained with the new toy.
Yeah, correct.
And so again, what is your adult Happy Meal is the key here.
Yeah.
In your business, can you create that adult Happy Meal that's giving your client a reason to choose you over a competitor when they're comparing apples to apples? Do you have something that can stand out, adding value to your offering? And that can be anything from, for example, let's say you have a subscription plan. Well, if you can get them to sign up for an annual membership and give them the 13th month free, there's an incentive. If you can give them a bonus to go with it, like it includes, a 3 months offering from, maybe you join with a colleague or even a semi-competitor, and you say, look, you get 3 months of my associate's product when you buy 12 months of mine. And so networking even can find, look for ways to find other complementary products or services where you're giving a free trial or a 60-day version or a freemium version of a colleague's product, and they're giving a freemium version of yours with their product. So that way you're collaborating, and you're both adding additional value to your sales. And that's just kind of some rough ideas off the top. I'd love to get into what Marketing Boost offers as well. But I mean, that's just to kind of over the top here, start giving people ideas on how to collaborate. That might be adding, if you wrote an ebook last year, well, maybe you're giving the ebook free with this year's promotion and last year's ebook. And, you're finding ways to add value to your value stack. When you buy our product today, you get this and you get this and you get this. Try to keep finding different ways to make your offer so good that it's you feel stupid saying no. And that reminds me, one book I recommend you read to kind of enhance all this is Alex Hormozi's 100 Million Offers, which is a great book on helping you create and define whatever your offer is, so that you can create that, valuable offer that nobody else can offer.
For sure. Yeah. And I think things have shifted to that, like how much more value can we add because of Alex and other marketers and, Gary Vee talking about just add more value. And so, yeah, I think they can look different for a lot of individuals, but I think it's important. Like you mentioned earlier, it's way better for everyone versus a race to the bottom and discounts. And just losing that profit. So, with that, like you have some good value added to it. What are some things when you are trying to decide on that incentive? What are some things that you need to kind of check the boxes to make sure it's a good incentive that fits within your business model and isn't actually going to detract from business?
You love listening to podcasts, but have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Maybe you want to build a brand, grow your business, or are looking for an excuse to talk about your favorite hobby. Whatever your reason for making a podcast, Buzzsprout is the place to start. Since 2009, Buzzsprout has helped over 300,000 people launch their own podcasts. Buzzsprout walks you step by step through the whole process and will give you powerful tools to start, grow, and monetize your podcast. Ready to get started? Click the link in the show notes to get our free step-by-step guide to starting your podcast today.
Well, let me talk about, yeah, sure. Let me mention a little bit about Marketing Boost now, just to give your viewers some ideas here. What Marketing Boost provides, we call it the wow, surprise, and delight factor. Marketing Boost, we provide with a very low-cost subscription the ability to give away high-value travel incentives. We give our members can add complimentary hotel stays from 3 to 7 nights in 130 destinations around the world, with no timeshare presentations or any kind of hoops to jump through. We're not the first to be in the travel incentive business, but we totally revolutionized and made it affordable for the average or small business to be able to use these high perceived value incentives like the big guys used to, or still do, and used to be the only ones available, ability to do it. So what do I mean by this? You can add, and we found this works in almost any industry niche. So for example, I can tell you, I had a guy who was, he had a service, he was selling $97 a month subscription for tips and when to buy and sell, trade stocks and Bitcoin and all. He has a team of analytic guys that were doing all this research and what have you. And for $97 a month, you had access to all this inside information. After people used his service for a few months, he found Marketing Boost and he created a campaign saying, hey, if you join our annual plan and become a, whatever he called them, AAA member with our annual plan, you get a choice of 5 nights in Cancun, Mexico on us, or 5 nights in Hawaii. If you pay for 6 months in advance, you get a choice of 3 nights in Las Vegas or San Diego or Miami or Atlanta or something like that. And he ended up generating almost $500,000 in additional revenue in 4 days, because he had about 300 of them step up and pay for a year in advance at $1,200 a piece, and another 150 step up and pay for 6 months in advance at $600 or so. And so that came up to nearly $500,000 in 4 days. Now that became an ongoing campaign for him now. So after they use his service for a monthly, period for 2 or 3 months, he reaches out to them with his special promotions saying, hey, if you sign up for a year in advance after they've had a chance to see what his service provides, pay for a year in advance and get the following big bonus. We've had gyms across the country that, similar to Alex Hormozzi's deal, gyms across the country use our incentives to reward members who join the gym to reach their goals. So, for example, when you lose 20 pounds in the first 90 days, we're going to reward you with 3 nights in Las Vegas or what have you to show off your new bikini body. And, so if you hit your goals in 90 days, we're going to reward you with 3-night complimentary hotel stay on us. We've had members, again, we have thousands of entrepreneurs using our incentives around the globe. And so that's one idea, the complimentary hotel stays. And then we have restaurant savings vouchers, the $100 or $200. These work kind of like restaurant.com. They provide, 10% off, 50% off, buy one, get one free. There's about 250,000 offers at 100,000 restaurants throughout the USA and Canada. And these can be used for everything from download my PDF, download our ebook, as lead generation. For example, download my free white paper or my PDF or watch my video or attend our webinar, and we'll give you a $100 restaurant savings voucher, good at restaurants in your zip code, saving you money on, your next dining out experience. So that can be used in a myriad of ways. And then we have hotel savings cards. They come in increments of $1, $2, $3, and $500. And they are good at over 1 million hotels worldwide. They work kind of like a gift card, but they don't pay for the entire hotel stay. They offer a big discount compared to the retailers like Expedia.com. And it allows your client that you give one to the ability to, again, just activate the certificate. There's no cost to activate it or anything. And not until they book a room will they have any expense, and they'll be saving compared to retail. And they can be used the same way, what I call micro incentives for micro calls to action. So, download my PDF, join my webinar, write a review for my podcast, post a review, and I'll give you a $100 hotel savings card. Just all kinds of ways to engage. I've had people build a Facebook group, for example, from 0 to 10,000 members in less than 90 days, running contests every week. And the one guy that comes to mind, that hundreds of them have done this to grow their Facebook groups. And they'll run a contest, weekly, monthly, what have you. And they'll say, invite others to join our Facebook group. And for every person you invite, you get another chance to win. This week's contest is 5 nights in Cancun. And then they'll make a big deal on Saturday when they go live and explain, show who won the contest, have them live on the Facebook group and send them the incentive. Then they'll say, next week, it's 3 nights in Las Vegas. Keep on inviting people to the group and having an engagement, having a contest, making it fun, and having different incentives to give away and grow their Facebook virally. And then I go, what's the purpose of that? Depending upon what you sell. If you've got a Facebook group, you have your built-in audience. Now you can be that expert who's providing content, providing value, who's providing free information, who's providing webinars or podcasts, and setting yourself up as the authority, the expert in whatever it is you do. I'm the plumber. I'm the best realtor. I'm the expert in Orlando real estate. If you're buying, selling, investing, don't forget to look for us. We're the experts, and so on and so forth. So, and that's what I mean by adding value, showing you're the expert. And then another step, well, we'll talk about it in a moment, but I'll let you, by now you might have a question or two, so I'll let it back to you.
Yeah. So with that, like if those incentives aren't necessarily directly tied to your business or service per se, that doesn't have any, negative effects on people thinking, well, this has nothing to do with their expertise. Why are they doing that? Or is it just like, oh, wow, this is really cool that they're offering this trip as, free value?
Well, that makes sense, that question. And a lot of people ask that because you would think, the offer should be tied to whatever it is you do. And that makes sense. And you can and maybe should look for that type of incentive. On the other hand, what does a toy from Disney World about the following movie that just came out have to do with hamburgers? What does streaming video have to do with purchasing products from Amazon? So the incentive does not necessarily have to tie into exactly what you do. Remember that in our case, the idea behind what we do, and again, I am a proponent for incentives regardless, value add incentives.
Mm-hmm.
Now, use Marketing Boost or not, you should look for ways to add value, add incentives, add more widgets to whatever of your own, of whatever it is you offer. If you're an online retailer, you might be saying, hey, when you buy product A, you can, maybe you want to move some inventory of stuff that hasn't been selling for a while. So, if you buy product A, you get this bonus hat free. You get this bonus shirt free. You can throw in some stuff that's just burning, space, taking up space on your shelves, and move some product and help sell new product by throwing in a bonus of something else that you might have that's just taking up space. But then again, if you create, let's say you're an online retailer and your average transaction is $50 and you were wishing it was $100, you might come up with a point system, a reward system. And by joining Marketing Boost, we make it affordable for you to have this reward without costing you hardly nothing. So you might say, when you have reached 1,000 points by shopping on our website, we're going to reward you with a $500 hotel savings card. Or when you reach $500 in points, which let's say it's $500 in purchases, you get a $500 hotel savings card. Well, that hotel savings card didn't cost you nothing. You're able to give it to them as unlimited amount of them with your Marketing Boost membership. So it didn't cost you anything extra other than your subscription fee. But now you enticed or encouraged or incentivized your client to shop with you more often, or maybe make one big $500 purchase, or maybe, now you have a reason to continue to email them and text them after they made their first purchase to say, hey, you're only 300 points away from earning $500 in restaurants and hotel savings. And when you reach 1,000 points, don't forget, you can get your choice of 5 nights in Cancun or 5 nights in Hawaii, and boom. And the disclaimers for these, for example, these complimentary hotel stays. Here's the 3 disclaimers. They don't include airfare. They don't, say we don't include how you get to and from the hotel. They don't include, of course, food and beverage. And they don't include, of course, the government taxes and fees. So you can choose as a Marketing Boost member, you can choose to pay those fees for your client if you have a high ticket item and you want to give them a completely complimentary hotel stay. Or you do like most of our members do, you just do a proper disclosure and you cover those 3 things. Hey, you get 18 months to travel, after you activate the certificate. There's no timeshare presentations or anything crazy like that. Airfare is not included. Food and beverage is not included, and neither are government fees, government taxes and fees. And then, boom, you're offering them, dangling that carrot to take whatever your call to action is. Let's say you're a business coach and you're looking to have somebody, hire you to coach them along the way. And you know darn well that it's going to take you a minimum of 3 months for them to start following your direction, or 3 to 6 months for them to start seeing the rewards. Let's say maybe you're marketing SEO marketing, for example. That certainly is a 6-month investment in time before you see the results. So you might say, look, at your anniversary, on your 6 months anniversary, or if you pay in advance for 6 months, I'm going to reward you with 6 days and 5 nights, complimentary hotel stay in Cancun or in Cabo San Lucas or Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, or Punta Cana, Dominican Republic on us. And boom, you've got that carrot as a reason to maybe step up and pay you for 6 months in advance, or continue to remind them don't forget you're 2 months away from getting your reward. So that way they continue to at least subscribe to your service for that amount of time and so on.
Yeah.
So,
and I think definitely I think there's a place for it, which is an interesting perspective with it. If someone's trying to create maybe something of value, what I guess the question would be, what is your thought on, digital products as an add value or like a lead magnet? So the ebooks, the checklists, are those enough value nowadays, or have we seen it too much that we need to up the game?
Well, they still work. Absolutely. People are interested in content. Content is king, as we've been saying for years. And of course, when we use these ebooks, these content, even now the Russell Brunson new video, Vimeo, or what's it called again? Vimeo or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Zoom. I forget what he calls this product, but anyway, in the middle,
the video. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the video, it stops and asks for an email address to continue watching the video. It's a perfect example of enticing them. And then why do you need to be building as an entrepreneur, you need to build an asset that only you own, such as generating an email and telephone database, where you don't rely on Facebook, you don't rely on the Facebook group, you don't rely on algorithms from other outlets to continue to reach back out to these prospects and nurture them from a lead to a client, to a paid customer. And so these lead magnets still work, but people are more and more, we've seen so many of them over years that we're often weary sometimes to use your preferred email address or a phone number that's accurate, because you don't want you're not interested in getting bombarded with spam and telephone calls or filling your email with text messages. Your phone number with text messages. So that's where an incentive, adding additional value. You got the ebook. Hey, download my ebook and get the following. But again, we still recommend that it's still, in today's world, you might need to add additional sugar to that, some other incentive, be it marketing boost or something else, that it gives them a reason to give you an accurate phone number and or their preferred email address. And one of them is, actually request sometimes the wording in your lead magnet process. For example, to join my Facebook group, I ask for email, phone number, and I ask them, what industry niche are they in? Please provide us with your preferred, your best email address where we can send you exclusive information about Marketing Boost and using our incentives. And then we ask provide us with your phone number, and we're going to send you a sample hotel savings card immediately to experience how these work, can work for you and your business. And we get about 70% of the folks who join our Facebook group giving me accurate, they're filling out all three things there. So, we tell them that it's required to answer these questions. And, we have over 35,000 members in one Facebook group, 84,000 in another. And most of them are giving us their phone number, email, and industry niche that they're in. And then we put them into a nurturing campaign with our CRM platform, which is another product we offer as well. And now we own the database so that we can nurture them and market to them on an ongoing basis to educate them on how to grow their business using incentives, listening to our podcast, and a whole lot of other things. But again, that's an example of using an incentive to acquire the data that I need to nurture clients.
So when people are going to, figure out this lead magnet or this incentive to add on, what are a couple things they'd need to consider before choosing that item? Are there a couple things that they need to look at before they pull the trigger on one or the other?
Well, I believe in A/B testing. So, nothing is guaranteed to work. Your audience for your product or service can vary. I know these, different incentives can work from in B2C, better than B2B. If you're selling to B2B, you've got a different level of consumer, and they're might be, based on their time availability. What are they interested in? If you're selling software to businesses, et cetera. But so it's really about A/B testing. And I recommend trying several different things, whether it be Marketing Boost or offering your own incentive, free trials. I mean, I personally don't like free trials. I like people getting people to commit up front. I'd rather offer a guaranteed, and my suggestion would be I'd prefer offering a 100% money back guarantee, 60 days, up 60 days or 30 days after purchase of our product. But I like people with skin in the game versus free trials. Even though with some of our products, we offer free trial as well, or even a freemium version. But I prefer and always recommend, try to offer, in your A/B testing, try offering, taking the fear, what is the reason people don't take action with you quite often? It's the fear of loss. And we need to turn that into everybody has either a fear of loss, or because they either don't know or don't trust your brand, or there's a fear of loss of obviously losing money. So if you can take the risk out of the equation by, making it look, we give you a 100%, no questions asked, money back guarantee. And you might have some disclaimers in that, if you signed up and never tested the product, never used it, didn't do anything with it, then that's on you, so we can give you up to 50% back, or I don't know, whatever you want to come up with within your fine print. But even best is no fine print. If you really believe in your product, or service, then the odds are, if you're delivering, no one's going to ask for their money back, or very few. And if a few do, so what? Go ahead and give them the money back, and work on keeping those that are happy using your service.
For sure. And this has been a lot of good information, and a lot for people to think about too, as they're building out, their offer and their marketing structure, how to add more value and how to incentivize things and beef up even what they're maybe doing already. So again, Marco, I appreciate everything you've shared and the direction you've given. If people are looking to connect with you or find out more about Marketing Boost, where's the best place for them to go?
Several places. I'd recommend to look at all the products we have. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com, marketingboostsolutions.com, or just go straight to marketingboost.com. There's access from that site to join our Facebook groups, which is free. And by the way, we do offer a freemium version of Marketing Boost, no credit card required. So you can go to Marketing Boost. That gives you access on the free version to test giving away 7 of our top 7 destinations. So you can give away complimentary hotel stays to our top 7 destinations, and give one to yourself. Check it out. See how the process works. Enter with no credit card required. And then if you like what you're seeing, you can choose to upgrade later on. And again, it's a no-brainer. It's only $37 a month to be a paid member. And from there, there's additional upgrades, to save even more and get additional bonuses with the annual memberships.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys are interested, definitely get connected with Marco. Check out Marketing Boost. And again, Marco, thanks so much for being on the Elevate Media Podcast today.
My pleasure. Hope that added a little bit of some ideas and value to your listeners.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Elevate Media Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. See you in the next episode.